Okay, we are approaching a group of tourists who are distantly related to Duke Ferdinand Alexander XVII, who was tragically murdered, and they are very bitter. So, as we approach this fountain, you'll notice that the fountain is a fountain which is the location where Grand Duchess Catherine IX was having a very happy picnic one day, and all of a sudden what approached her appeared to be a cousin, but it was in disguise, for in fact it was an assassin, and he hit her over the head with an extremely sharp umbrella, and she was very tragically murdered. Up until that point, however, beside her death, she was extremely happy. Now we approach this little building, which we don't know what happened, but we're pretty convinced that somebody at some point in time approached this building and was murdered. Okay, but they had a nice Coke and some ice cream before meeting their demise. Okay, so now we keep going, and we get to the forest of all of the time the people came to the forest, and they had a nice walk, and then at some point were hit on the head with a rock and murdered. But the good news is that they had a nice walk up until the point during which they were murdered. Now, this is the blood on the ground, which is called Bloody Path, and it is in commemorative of the Grand Duke Ferdinand III, who was having a nice horseback ride when somebody murdered his horse, and he fell off his horse. The horse fell on him, and the horse is the only horse in the history of Russian history to have murdered the Grand Duke. This horse was then put to death before they realized he's already dead. Why bother? Okay, so we move on. Now, we come to a point in the road where 17 Grand Duchesses stood in a circle, each reaching for the same crumpet, bashed their heads together, and were murdered. Okay, so now we come to the end of our... Oh, it's the forest of death. Look, every tree is responsible for the murder of a Grand Duke, Duchess, and or Tsar or Tsarina. So these trees will all be put to death. Okay, now we keep going, and we see, look at this. In the history of Russian history, it's an Amy Palanker. Goodness, what will become of her? We're hoping that she will live through the day and will have a happy life up until the point in time at the age of 107 where she might possibly have a fatal meeting with a knife. But until then, she will be very happy. Oh, look, it's young Jakey. Hello, Jakey. Are you enjoying Russia? Oh.
Look, there's a little, Jakey, little squirrel. I see it.
Oh, how cute. Someday he will be murdered.